Hey guys, we are so many sequels. We won't go around and do all the introductions.
Nah, our
We
names are
just
right there
wanted
anyway.
to, we just wanted to take a few moments to kind of talk about and acknowledge Chadwick Boseman, who passed away this weekend after fighting with colon cancer,
hmm
unfortunately. I'm gonna read the statement from his representatives so that we all can you've probably read it by now, but we'll read it anyway. It is with immeasurable grief that we confirm the passing of Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer in 2016 and battled with it these last 4 years as it progressed to stage 4. A true fighter, Chadwick persevered through it all and brought you many of the films you have come to love so much. From Marshall to *Da 5 Bloods, August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, and several more, all were filmed during and between countless surgeries and chemotherapy. It was the honor of his career to bring King T'Challa to life in Black Panther. He died in his home with his wife and family by his side. The family thanks you for your love and prayers and asks that you continue to respect their privacy during this difficult time. So we all found that out as of this recording about, I don't know, less than 24 hours ago. It was late last night when the
Yeah, it
news.
was like 9 or 10 last night.
Yeah.
Really shocking.
Yeah, I was laying on the floor, just sitting there, when I got a push alert from AP and I like jaw dropped my phone. Wasn't, I mean, you never expect anything like that, but like that one, I think was a real surprise. Um, just because of the fact that, that was something that he kept to himself and his family. And like, he didn't, the world didn't need to know what he was going through. And so it was kind of one of those where we're so used to hearing about um, famous people, whether it's celebrities or politicians or whoever, them being sick. Um, and this is one of those rare occasions where we really had no idea. And so learning about that for me really has made me think about like his entire career. Because you said he was diagnosed when, Josh?
2016.
So 2016. You think about all of the things that he did um, between that time and didn't let anybody know. It's because he knew what he was doing. If you look at his career, I mean, his first like lead role was playing Jackie Robinson, another black barrier breaker that changed so many things. He was Thurgood Marshall in Marshall. That happened during his diagnosis. Jackie Robinson was at least before the official diagnosis in 2013. And then Get On Up, he was James Brown. So he's made a career of playing these real life black heroes and was able to establish himself as that. And I think that the Black Panther element really stands out because for him and the black community, it has been so underrepresented, especially in the superhero genre, but like in film itself for so many years, that when he was cast, he knew what he was doing and he knew what he was going through. And it just really seems that he knew that this was bigger than him and it was something that he needed to do. And not only on a film screen, but like how he handled himself off of the film screen. There's been videos circulating of him giving away his, I think it was his MTV award. I don't remember what he won for, but he gave it to just a regular citizen who had done something heroic. There's a video of him greeting fans and kind of surprising them on Jimmy Fallon. And you see how much Black Panther means to them. And then he pops out and really kind of understands that. And then another one where he's talking about these kids who really wanted to see this movie and passed away of cancer. And that one breaks him down. And you see just so much more as to why. And only he knew. And that's the way that he wanted it to be. And what he was doing was building something for his community. And people didn't need to know what he was going through. He knew what he was doing, and it was incredibly important.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of said everything. I mean, I remember, like you, I was sitting in my chair, the AP alert came in, and I shouted out loud. I just kind of thought, "What? No, what?" Like I couldn't like, and I hit the push, and hoping that I'd misread that, like hoping that somehow I had just like thrown a bunch of words together in a dash and overthought it. But what a shocking thing to learn, because I mean this happens all the time. Celebrities, they pass away, they die, but more often than not, it's at the age that you kind of might expect this type of thing, or it's a situation where maybe they've lived a life that might lead to that type of thing. But Chadwick Boseman, from all accounts, was a very, like good, healthy, strong, young man, and so it just comes out of nowhere in a year where everything seems to come out of nowhere, and it's disappointing because it feels like it reminds me, and I don't want to get too somber with this. It reminds me of when Heath Ledger passed away, where it's somebody who seems like they're really like at the peak of their career in terms of like the level of attention they're getting, the level of profile they have, and the level of they can do. Like Chadwick Boseman could have pretty much gotten any role he wanted at this stage, and for that to just kind of end so suddenly, um, it's truly a shocking thing to reveal. I think as far as actors go, I feel like he was one of the most authentic performers we had at this time. Like there's just something about his performances that you never doubt, no matter if he's playing a fictitious African king, or playing, the what is James Brown's nickname, the King of Soul,
Godfather of
like
Soul.
Godfather of Soul. Like, it's he was so dynamic, and he had such an incredible uh real feeling to him. Gonna truly miss seeing him on screen, and seeing him off screen, where, like Garrett said, he was an incredibly kind and generous individual.
Yeah, he certainly um, portrayed himself as if there was nothing wrong, and so that is where a lot of the shot comes in. He's one of those people that seemed invincible, you know, from being a superhero. The superheroes, you just never expect that kind of thing, and it gets, the lines get blurred between what's real and what's not. In that he's not actually Black Panther. He's not a superhero, but you see that strength in him. So to find out he was actually deathly ill the entire time is really shocking. And while he wasn't a real superhero, he was able to become a hero to a whole lot of people in portraying that character, and then bringing it into his real life. The way he worked with people and worked with charities, especially, and children. He became a hero to a lot of people. And it seems like, we talked about a lot of the viral videos going around of him interacting with people. It seems like he was able to do quite a lot with his time, not just on the big screen, but making serious impact in people's personal lives as well. And I think the biggest shame is that he won't get to continue to make that impact in the same way. But it will be different. He'll continue to affect people, but it'll be different. And it's a shame to lose that, because he was clearly a good person.
Yeah, I do want to make one other observation, and I'm not begrudging the decision at all. Like I think it's probably the same decision I might have made. It's interesting to see that he decided, or he and his family decided, to keep this a secret, to keep it to themselves.
Sure.
In a day and age where so many would take a situation like that and use it to either create a bigger voice for others. Like there are a lot of people who, when they're diagnosed with cancer, they come out with it. You can put this on PR a little bit, but they try to like raise awareness for that particular cancer or just cancer in general, and be like, hey, I'm a high profile person suffering through the same thing. Like a lot of regular people, maybe I can bring more attention to that problem. I respect the decision either way when people make those, but it's just kind of interesting that it's interesting to see someone make that choice these days, when so often it seems like most people try to or take that disadvantage and try to use it for awareness raising or something like that. It feels like that's all we ever see these days.
Yeah. Obviously, we don't know why he does anything he does or speak for him at all. But it does seem like he used what time he had to connect with sick people on a personal level, rather than that other type of platform.
Mm-hmm.
So really impressive. And it's 43 is very young. For anyone to die of any reason, let alone of cancer. And it's just such a shame. It's such a shame. He had so much more to do.
And I think that go ahead, Andrew. You haven't said it much.
Well, the only thing I was going to say was that if there's anything you should take away from Chadwick Boseman, is to take example from him. Yeah, I mean, he had this. He was Black Panther. He was Jackie Robinson. He was all these other film roles, and behind the scenes, he was this. He was from all accounts an incredibly kind person who really felt that his mission was to help. And it sucks that he can't share that anymore. I remember last night reading it because, well, how I really found out was through a group text with you guys, because I was on a video conference call with 2 other people, and like when I saw that, and I don't know who started it. I don't know if it was David or Garrett, but like it said, how about Chadwick? And I'm like, Chadwick Boseman? And I looked up really quick and it said Chadwick Boseman died of cancer. And at first I didn't believe it. Like you don't want to believe it. And then like you see all the stories and it's just like, well, surely this is a hoax. And they're like, no. And then later I got on Instagram and I saw like Chadwick Boseman's Instagram, and it said everything. Is like, wow, that really hit home. And then all the stories and stuff come out about him, and it's just like, he should really take example, a great example from him, as to how resilient you can be in the face of death. Because he probably knew his days were numbered. Yeah, he probably knew that he didn't have a lot of time left, because when cancer gets to stage 3, your chances of living are pretty slim. And all he did was just the only thing he did was just press on. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a very strong message. I think it's a very great message, especially when you're communicating it to fans who are younger than you that have the same disease as you. And it really hits home that like you need to really just like we're only guaranteed so many years.
Yeah, it's all about doing what you can with the time you've got.
Yep. And you really only have so many years on this earth. So make the best of your time, and make the best of your time. And if you can, give back. And it sounds like he did that a lot. I think he wanted to do that. And I think he wanted to just be a good example to his community, as well as leaving a lasting legacy. It's a shame that he's not going to be with us anymore. But ultimately, that's kind of what I took away from it. because yeah, it's he's gonna forever be Black Panther now. Like it's almost immortal. So
And I think looking at it's weird some of I mean, obviously there's bigger things at work, but like his death is really symbolic in the way that I look at it. He died on Jackie Robinson Day, which is when everyone in like Jackie Robinson's number, for if you don't follow baseball, is retired. Nobody in baseball is able to wear that number. And one day a year, Major League Baseball, everybody wears that number. And him portraying Jackie Robinson Day was held the day of his death. He also died on the anniversary of the March on Washington, during the Civil Rights in 1963,
Yep.
Which I don't know the full history, but him playing Thurgood Marshall is relevant to that, just because of that human. And again, the symbolic King T'Challa, and everything that he and that character stood for that community, died in the wake of another Black man being shot and killed by a police officer. And with as high as the racial tension has been the last few years, I mean, that death of a symbol I don't want to say universally, but like looked up by so many people, dying in this time frame is even harder, I think.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what else there is to say.
I'm not sure there is.
So
I don't think there is.
no. So what I would say is I would recommend that you all go watch Chadwick Boseman movies. Read some of the stories going around about him. There's a lot of stuff on Instagram and Twitter about some of the great things he's done. Go read that stuff. Watch his movies. Look at the amazing positive impact that he had on the world, and just keep his friends and family and loved ones, and the young fans too. His young fans who will have a hard time kind of coping with that. Just keep all those people in your thoughts.